The United States makes the UN work when it wants it to work. And that is exactly the way it should be, because the only question for the United States is what's in our national interest.
My name is John, and the International Criminal Court is now in session. The armed forces of Ukraine continued their operation to reclaim the entirety of Zaporozhye Oblast from the Russian Federation. In addition to that, the southern Donetsk Oblast too from Russia. So in the vicinity of Velika Novosilka, this area continues to be tightly contested. Now, for those of you who don't know what this map is, this is from Military Maps Info, and in my personal opinion, is the most informative and the most accurate map of the entire conflict by far. I highly recommend you check them out if you haven't. Though, of course, there is a bit of a paywall, so yeah, if you're willing to pay for that, yeah, go ahead and, of course, invest in them. They do really good work. So as you can see here, Makariivka is back under the Armed Forces of Ukraine's control. And yeah, but this entire area, as you can see here, it's not really completely stabilized for even the Ukrainians themselves, who are the forces that are trying to basically claim control of this area. Ukrainians have also taken control of Novodorovka, which is located here, or I think it's actually, let's see. It is, yeah, definitely in this area here. The Ukrainians have retaken control of that settlement. And, yeah, so that's going to do it basically in regards to progress on this front. So, yeah, not a lot of news coming out other than the fact that there have been a lot of casualties on both sides of the front so far. And the body count for both the armed forces of Ukraine and the Russian Federation are continuing to grow. Though it is said, take it with a grain of salt by the way, that the casualties on the side of Ukraine are far worse than the Russian side. So anyway, let's move over to the Orikhiv front. Now pardon me if there's a bit of a slowdown here, because I don't know if it's my PC or if it's literally the site itself. Yeah, it's a bit slow, but be patient with me here. Let's see here. It should load up in... Oh, okay, here we go. So this whole area here is still relatively under the control of Russia. Though there is a bit of a gray zone here. There's like a lot of gray here. Lukove, I think, which is the village here. I think it fell under the control of the armed forces of Ukraine, or it's still in the gray area here. Yeah, apparently according to Military Maps Info, this area here, this tiny little village, is still being tightly contested between both sides. And they are about to reach the first line of defense in this area. So yeah, keep an eye out. Now, for the most part though, there has been no activities in the direction of Ernergodar and Kherson. And I bet there's going to be no operations here for the time being. Though, I am expecting, though, at least 1 or 2 assaults by the armed forces of Ukraine in one of these areas. Because they got to win somewhere. Because they're not making a lot of big advances in the Zaporozhye direction, nor southern Donetsk. The Velika Novosilka direction, which is in southern Donetsk, is arguably where the Ukrainians have had the greatest measure of success in. So, yeah, we'll see for sure if they'll continue to either build on that success or the Russians will hold the line. So, now I'm going to switch it over to the Syriac maps, which should go by faster. Just give me a moment here to load it up. There we go. It should be loading in a moment. So pardon me for any delays on my end. Here we go. So this is the Syriac map. Now, they claim so far that Makariivka is still being contested, while Storozheve, Lagodotnoy, and Storozheve and Niskuchne are all under Ukrainian control. And I think I mentioned in the last video that indeed was the case. Novodorovka is indeed under Ukrainian control, as they both agree on that. Yeah, and also, yeah, it matches up well with what Military Maps Info has been saying. Lapkove is still tightly contested. So other than that, oh, that's the Military Maps Info notification bell. That means something is going on over there. But yeah, nothing really to say on at this time because, as I said, it's still tightly contested. But I'll mention that in the next video if things do come up. So in the direction of the Lugansk Oblast and the tiny strip of Kharkiv Oblast that Russia still has, things are relatively quiet, though there is speculation that they might try to repeat the Kharkiv scenario that they did last September 2022, though there so far has been no activities there at this moment. And also in other news, Sergei Gorychev, a Russian general, died in Zaporozhye Oblast after being killed in a missile strike that was utilizing, by the way, the Storm Shadow missile, which was made in a collaboration between the British and French arms industries. So he apparently died while in battle. He served in both the Soviet armed forces, apparently, and also within the Russian Federation, though he mostly did his time with Russia, if not all of it, because this is 1994, which is 3 years after the fall of the Soviet Union. Now, meanwhile, on the PR front of things, the Wagner forces are supposedly going to return to Ukraine on August 5th, 2023. Now, a lot of people can speculate where they might be going, but literally, for now, I cannot really say anything because nothing's really confirmed yet. But what I can say could happen is that they might get deployed to Belgorod Oblast, which means there could be an offensive on Kharkiv Oblast. But we'll see. Now, the big news, of course, though, in terms of PR, is coming from Vladimir Putin. Now, he made this video. This video just came out. I didn't say he actually made it. Pardon me if I actually did, but he apparently just came out with this statement that he might consider a return to Kiev, which is the capital of Ukraine. Kiev, whatever. So he addressed some people in the Kremlin earlier today, and he talked about how the Ukrainians were basically continuing to struggle with their counteroffensive in the direction of Zaporozhye and Donetsk Oblast. And let me basically point out like the key things he said before I play that short clip, okay? So he pointed out that they were going to create like a special like sanitary zone in the territory of Ukraine. So that basically means indirectly that, yeah, we're going to have to take more territory other than just the 4 Oblast: Kherson, Zaporozhye, Donetsk, and Lugansk Oblast. He stressed that such a zone is needed to secure our regions. So basically, yeah, as I said, they're going to expand the whole front and they're going to have to take more territory. And according to Vladimir Putin, work on this issue will soon begin. He also said that a new mobilization may happen, but it will depend, however, on what they want. But there was no need for such a mobilization at this moment. He also claims that the Ukrainians have lost 160 tanks and 360 armed vehicles, both Russian-made and Western-made, during the counteroffensive that it started on the 4th of June. So the counteroffensive, as I said in an earlier video I made like a few days ago or such, did not start on June 8th. In fact, it started on June 4th. It wasn't a probing operation. It was actually a legitimate counteroffensive, a large-scale offensive by the armed forces of Ukraine. And he said that many parquet generals are, to put mildly, ineffective. New talents will have to be found and promoted, said Vladimir Putin. And, yeah. So anyway, hear this video from Vladimir Putin. This is from the pro-Russian account, VicTop55. Good source, by the way, if you want to hear what the Russians have to say for themselves. So yeah, this is a 14-second clip. Sorry about that. I actually, I couldn't turn on the actual volume, but yeah, here we go. This is his voice.
Наши войска были у Киева. Да? Нам нужно туда возвращаться или нет? Я почему вот такой риторический вопрос задаю? Потому что ясно, что у вас-то ответа на это нет. Это я сам могу на него только ответить. Наши войска...
So basically, he's saying, yeah, as Vic himself points out, our troops are near Kiev. Do we need to go back or not? I am asking a rhetorical question. It is clear that you have no answer to it. I can only answer it myself. So, I guess he's indirectly hinting, if not directly hinting, that the Russians are going to restart their assault on Kiev. Though, just to make things clear, I don't personally think that's going to happen anytime soon, at least in 2023. But in 2024, that's not out of the question, at least yet. And yeah, as you can see on this map here, this is the map of the entirety of Ukraine. Now, if I had to guess where this sanitary zone is going to be created, it's definitely going to be in the areas that border Russia and Belarus. So, it's definitely going to be in Kharkiv Oblast. It's definitely going to be in Sumy Oblast too. So they're going to have to literally return to that area as well as they did as they tried to take it back in February 2022 before they had to withdraw from it in April 2022. And Chernigov Oblast, also known as Chernihiv, which is the Ukrainian translation of Chernigov. So yeah, my best guess for that sanitary zone is these three: Chernigov, Sumy, and Kharkiv. Now, how are they going to take these areas? I don't necessarily know. But if I have to literally guess what the point of Russia defending here is, basically in this entire area here, it's that they want to grind out the armed forces of Ukraine. They want to exhaust them of all their NATO-made equipment that they were basically given to on a silver platter by the US, British, French, and German governments. They wanted to destroy all of that equipment and eliminate as many Ukrainian men as possible. Basically sort of like a genocide of the armed forces of Ukraine. And once they are able to do that, and arguably they're in the process of doing that right now, they will then proceed to do an offensive on these three oblasts, which should be able to allow Russia to create its so-called sanitary zone in Ukraine. Now, I don't know if this is going to happen or not. Like, who knows? Time will tell. But all I can say right now, for sure, is that the front within Zaporozhye and Southern Donetsk Oblast is tightly contested. A lot of bodies are piling up. Destroyed vehicles and even captured vehicles are also showing up on video, by the way. And it is literally now confirmed that Russia has, in fact, captured Leopard 2s and Bradley vehicles from the armed forces of Ukraine. So, yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. I'll continue to keep you all updated on the events in Ukraine, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good day.